Hello, Les here, coming to you from Jordan Lake. I think it's officially the state recreation area in North Carolina, near Raleigh-Durham. And I've been here almost a week. It's been rather damp. You can see on the ground here, got a little flooding going on here. I shouldn't say that in jest, because some very serious flooding has happened in the past couple of days. Hurricane Helene, it's a Category 4 hurricane that went up the coastline of western Florida on Thursday, I think it was. No, Friday. Thursday. And today is Saturday, the 28th of September. And it caused the worst storm surge on the west coast of Florida in 30 years-ish, 30 years or more. Kind of surprisingly, in a sense, because it was a similar storm came through last year. Followed the same path, but this one was bigger. The other one, they're both Category 4s, but this one was bigger, and I guess that bigger size. And there was some flooding from the one last year. That last year one was called a Dahlia, and there was some flooding in west coast of Florida last year. But this year it was like 3 feet higher, and that 3 feet was a big 3 feet, right? It took it from just flooding streets basically on the barrier islands to water intrusion on the buildings. And yeah, apparently, I've heard reports. I haven't seen it for myself yet, but apparently the like Clearwater Beach and Rex Beach, beaches near where I live, got wiped out pretty bad. And then both the storms landed in the Big Bend of Florida, which is in some ways fortunate because not many people live there. The reason not many people live there is because they get hit by hurricanes regularly, I believe. They call it the Forgotten Coast, and it's just like a hurricane funnel. And I've seen storms follow a similar path in my 12 years of living down there many times, but this one was the worst, definitely. And it wiped out a couple of small towns that are in the area, Steinhatchee, which I've been to, and Perry I've been to a few times. Got hit hard, and this one maintained hurricane strength up into Georgia, and then went on further from there and wreaked havoc in North Carolina and Tennessee yesterday, because it was a very, I think it was a combination of it being a place that was very, very wet from rain in previous days, and particularly previous weeks, because the storm was big enough that it was throwing rain bands off all week. And then it came, the little last remnants of it came. I'm getting bit by biting flies. That's why I'm dancing. Yeah, apparently it wreaked some serious havoc up in the mountains, which is where I passed through a couple weeks back. Asheville and Boone, and all these beautiful mountain towns. Banner Elk apparently got landslides and roads washed out. Even I-40 apparently got washed out in some parts. So yeah, it's a mess up there. I have a cousin who has a property in Boone. He's pretty concerned. But as for my place, being 67 feet above sea level and right on the water, it's basically sitting at the top of a hill, which is a lot of the reason why I bought it. And I think everything's fine there. They don't have power. They still don't have power. So I can't check on my cameras because the Wi-Fi is down. But my neighbor confirmed yesterday that all's well there. They didn't get much wind. It was just the storm surge, because the storm was 125 miles off the coast. So they just got some light tropical breezes basically. But they did have a worse storm surge in 30 years, I believe, since 1993. Definitely the worst since I've been there. I've seen several storms do a 6-foot storm surge, and actually didn't wreak that much havoc, surprisingly. And this one was 9 feet, but apparently, I mean, and that makes sense because a lot of those barrier islands, you know, the highest elevation is 9-10 feet. So, I mean, Indian Rocks Beach was probably completely submerged. I mean, at least the island itself, you know, some of the buildings, but so then basically every building on the island would have water intrusion. So it'll be interesting. I was going to go spend a week or two in a North Florida park. I had a reservation, but they canceled it. They only canceled it for this weekend, but I decided since all this happened, and I'm going to go ahead and head on home today. Maybe today. I might stop part way, like Jacksonville or something tonight, but at least definitely by tomorrow. And, you know, assess the situation, see what needs to be done. I'm supposed to go back to work on Monday, so we'll see. But yeah, a lot of my friends were affected by this, and even, you know, some people in North Carolina and Georgia. I have family in Georgia that were affected by it as well. But anyways, so somewhat of a somber. I mean, it's Mother Nature, and you got to respect Mother Nature. But we even had a tornado warning here when, like, the last band of the storm passed through. It was a pretty intense band, and we had tornado warnings here. I had to seek shelter in the bathhouse up the hill. But of course, today it's beautiful, as expected. I mean, it's the first beautiful day since I've been here, definitely, and mostly the whole time I've been in North Carolina. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to get home, and it's going to be the 28th or 29th, so I won't quite make the 6 months, but pretty close. October 5th would have been 6 months, so a week shy of 6 months of this journey. It's close enough. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to stay a week in North Florida, is to make it a full 6 months, but it'll be all right. To be just shy of 6 months. That's too long anyways. It's too long to be away from home and away from my cars. It's still hot down there, although the storm probably cooled things off, but that's just a temporary effect. But anyways, yeah, my last check-in from the road on this journey of roads less traveled. But hopefully there will be many more adventures in the future. Probably do one more check-in when I get back. Maybe multiple ones. You know, kind of showing the effects of this storm. But yeah, a little bittersweet to be returning home. I've enjoyed this very much, and but in some ways, of course, I'm ready to get home too. Glad I still have a home to go to. But yeah, so here's my little home for the last 5 months and 3 weeks. Suburban. We got one last leg to go, 600 miles. Hopefully all goes well. Stay on the east side of the coast, the east coast side, so all the flooding and stuff shouldn't be a problem there, because it all kind of stayed to the west of that. Well, you never know, we'll see. But yeah, I guess that's my last vlog entry from the journey. I'll have a wrap up, maybe summary, when I get back. But yeah, as usual, stay tuned.